Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, and today I'm going to be reacting to Steven Universe the movie. Yeah, isn't this interesting? I have not reacted to anything Steven Universe, but, I knew the movie came out a few months ago, and I know Steven Universe Future, the final season has already started, and I thought, you know what the heck, why don't I go ahead and react to it? I do like Steven Universe. I've watched all the way through Season 5, and my quick thoughts on it, just real quick here before we get started. My thoughts on the series as a whole is it's pretty decent. It just has some issues with filler, but overall, it's not bad. So I enjoy it, basically, as I stammer over my words. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's good. Yeah, let's try to stop stammering over our words. But yeah, this is the movie. Last time on Steven Universe, we had Change Your Mind, where Steven finally confronted White Diamond and was able to change her mind about the Empire and stuff like that. So yeah, another character was redeemed. I guess there's a bit of a problem I have with the show, is that every villain has to be redeemed on the show, which on the one hand you would think, well, isn't that good? You know, see the goodness in all of them, and it's like, but there is a little issue I have with, like, everyone is redeemable. Like, you know, let's not... Yeah, eventually there has to be a Frieza, you know? There has to be someone who's just so bad you can't redeem. I have no idea if that's going to happen with this movie. I know a little bit about this movie, that I do know it's a musical, which I'm sort of hit or miss on musicals, but whatever. And at the same time, I do know a little bit about the main villain of this, and so yeah, that's kind of it. I know a little, obviously not everything, so that's what we are reacting here for. So yeah, we'll see if we have to redeem this villain or not. You know what? Okay, let me just say, I would be fine with them redeeming every villain, but can you fight once in a while? We used to fight on this show, you know? Like when Garnet fought Jasper or something. Like, that was fun. Can we fight? I want violence! No, I'm kidding. But yeah, you know, just a fight, just to sort of vary it a little bit. I mean, if we just have to, like, if we redeem every villain, it starts to get samey. But now I'm digressing. But yeah, this is going to be a reaction to the movie. Let's just focus on the movie. If you want to watch this in full length, completely unedited, you can head over to my Patreon, and all of my full length patrons will have access to that. It's only $5 a month, so you know, if you want to get a little bit more out of it, out of this reaction, you can. But if you don't want to, I imagine I'm gonna use maybe 10 minutes of footage, although I don't know how strict Cartoon Network is about copyright, so hopefully, you know, we don't have to, like, take the reaction out and put it in some other link, you know, put it somewhere else. Hopefully we don't have to do that. But yeah, this has been this intro has been kind of all over the place, hasn't it? But yeah, you can go watch full length if you want to as a full length patron on my Patreon page. If not, you can just stick here for the reaction, and after that we will obviously still do a discussion. So yeah. With that being said, we might as well get right into this episode. I'm sorry. With that being said, let's get right into Steven Universe the movie. Here we go.
Steven, everyone believes in.
Wow, this is giving me like some Wizard of Oz vibes. Like opening credits. Isn't that interesting?
How's it going, everybody?
Oh god. Age 16, yeah, he's older.
You all might be thinking of me as...
I've been saying please and thank you even to lower life forms.
What did we talk about?
Equal life forms.
Oh god. They're still a little racist, that's alright. Yeah, bye.
I can't believe we've come so far.
I'm so used to Steven Universe fear. Ah, fighting!
That I could feel growing stronger
Yeah.
every day. And now
No, go back to fighting! I want more fighting!
how's the future look, Garnet? Do we all stay just like this forever?
Spoilers.
No.
Ugh. Oh, that's spooky. Yeah. Someone's coming.
Hey, are you Steven Universe?
Yes?
Perfect.
Ugh. Oh no, she's here with the Vuvuzela. Ah, and a drill.
In case you haven't heard, I've established peace across the...
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, bummer.
I've had your little message to the universe on loop.
Ooh. Alright, fight!
What did you play? Did you think all this time that I
Ah.
couldn't find out about you? Oh,
I like her power base.
story over and over again. This time I got to win. Life on the line, winner takes all.
Ah.
Ready or not, let's begin.
Oh god, she has a scythe!
The story.
Damn. That.
That's enough!
Oh!
No,
It's about to get serious. Wow. Poofed her.
What?
Oh. Looks like you can't.
Where's my bubble?
Wait. Wait a minute, did he lose his power?
My Greg Universe, thank you for bringing me into the world.
What?
I am at your ease.
Did she get... Did they like hit the factory reset button? A new pearl. Uh-oh. Did she get reset too?
Get back!
I'm so excited to meet you.
You're not mad?
Mad? Why would I be mad?
No, she's good.
My best friend!
Your new best friend, Spinel.
Spinel. She's just like a
Now it's your turn.
like a toy
It's a rejuvenator.
rejuvenator.
Homeworld used to use these things on gems that started stepping out of line. One hit
Ooh.
with this.
But my gem half, it took the hit. She
Yeah.
sent me back. It's like I'm a kid again. I can
Oh,
barely
God.
control my powers.
Okay, so he needs to retrain.
I need to get...
On crystal gem. And we never give
Let's go back to the original song. There's got to be some way that she would regain her memory. Why would she take a chance on losing her own self? I kind of like the idea of like
Okay.
I don't want to say the B team, but we're
Some way to make them remember.
What if it's like a puzzle?
we got to use the other gems. I like it.
We just have to give them back all the pieces. One experience at a time.
Are you serious?
That could take forever.
Yeah, you get that's like 5,000 years. At least for Amethyst. It's longer for the rest of them.
The Spinel will pick up that device out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Hijinks will ensue.
Yeah.
we should try.
Probably.
Wait, Spinel.
Just built that.
Aw. Yep, these are very hijinkical.
Well, I'm glad fate allowed me to meet you.
Aw.
No!
Oh, it's reversed. Man, OG Garnet.
Spinel, you stay here with the others, and I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. Ah.
Oh, okay. Let's go together?
Ah, okay. I think I'm starting to figure out why she went a little, you know.
In the dark of the night.
In the dark of the night.
In the light of the day.
In the light
I will say for a
of the day,
musical, this actually isn't bad.
when you rise and shine.
Like like the songs are good, and they're not constant. I hate musicals where there's just no dialogue, and it's just song after song after song. Nothing is just said. Like the songs are intermittent in this, and I like it.
Just remember this song.
How's it go? I forgot.
I'm gonna be my...
Okay, at the very least, she's developing her own personality.
Amethyst!
No. Hold up. Oh, okay.
Biopoison, pure and uncut.
Biopoison. Whoa.
As
long as you exist, I will serve you.
As long as you exist.
Ugh.
That's the final piece. Mom disappeared. Dad, I've got an idea.
We're going to have to kill you.
Greg?
Steven!
It's a big old universe out there. And when you're getting crushed under the weight of them
Oh.
stones...
Whoa. They fused. I didn't even know they could do that. I mean, yeah, we've had Stefani, but still. Hey. It worked. Is this gonna get Spinel back? I think I know how Spinel works. Like, what her backstory is. I get this feeling I know.
Spinel? She was Pink Diamond's little playmate. They used to spend
Yeah.
ages together in Pink's garden.
Garden?
That's where they used to play.
So what's her problem with us?
I don't know. I haven't seen her in 6,000 years. Something must have happened to her since then.
The problem is you haven't seen her in 6,000 years.
Whoa, kiddo. You remember the garden?
The garden?
Is anything coming back to you?
I think it's that she was left behind.
Here in the garden, stand very still.
This'll be so much fun.
Oh no.
Happily waiting, all on my own, under the endless sky.
She stayed there.
Counting the second. She doesn't exist now, survived by her son and all of her brand new
That's what it
friends.
was.
Isn't that lovely?
Oof.
Isn't that
That's what allowed her to leave.
I can't believe Mom did that to you. Actually, I can totally believe it.
Yeah, right?
She hurt.
Pink Diamond was kind of cruel.
You can start over there. Make new friends.
Yeah.
Someday, somewhere, somehow.
You know what? I'll take her redemption. This one is set up good. Ugh. Yay. Where did she get that in the past 3 days, by the way?
that all you needed me for? To
Well,
turn off my injector?
wait.
Well, sort of, but no.
Oh, what now? I did what you wanted. That's it?
Well, no, we're just...
We can just forget this ever happened.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I can just forget this ever happened.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. This isn't working. Abort. Abort. Oh, no. Oh, here we go again.
Then stop me! You wanna attack me. Just admit it.
Ugh.
Better yet, just try it.
No!
Why not?
Because that's not the truth!
Ooh. Whoa.
Together.
The final piece.
Okay, that worked. Song fight. Garnet versus Spinel. Oh, okay. It is all three of them. This does seem to be Garnet's thing. Garnet's thing is she loses the first fight and then she sings a song while singing the second fight and then it works. This is not quite the music you would have to a grand finale, I will say. Man, if there's one thing you can say about Steven Universe, the colors are perfect. I love these colors.
Spinel, this isn't a game!
Oh!
Huh?
Oh! Just straight up punching.
All this happily ever after stuff has made me forget the first power I ever had. The power to
Himself?
change.
Oh. Ooh, ooh, I like that. I like that. Get the boxing going.
Just can it, won't ya?
Ugh.
Can't just make everything better by singing Sam's stupid song!
Ooh. Oh!
You actually liked me, didn't you?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Aw.
I want to hurt you so bad.
Oh!
Steven!
Maybe he bubbled. Yep. Last second bubble to escape a nuke. Wow, that actually worked.
Oh my gosh, that actually worked?
Right? This is gonna take a
Looks
while.
like I got a lot of kissing to do.
Oh god.
Stephen, we've come to Earth to live with you.
What?
You don't
House
have
isn't big
to.
enough for all of us. Yeah, I don't know about this.
But Stephen,
Yeah.
it's been so boring since you've left.
It's been like a day.
Mom left her on a floating garden in space.
You poor thing.
That sounds so bad when you put it like that. And it is.
We'll just take Spinel back to Homeworld with us and you can stay here.
Oh, good.
Huh?
That works.
You know what it meant to love her, and you remind
Man, they're really
me so much.
wrapping this up with a nice pink bow, aren't they?
Here we are in the future.
Hey, they got everything cleaned up. Probably took a while though.
Happily ever after, never end.
Okay. Alright. That worked. I liked it. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. I like that, actually. There was no filler. That's already a plus on the original series. I said at the beginning of this video, oh man, I kind of want them to, have at least one person that they don't redeem just go fight. They kind of gave me both, honestly. It's like, yeah, we did go for the redemption route overall, but at the same time, we did get our fights, which I like. I like the fights that we had here, especially because they were getting creative with Spinel with like her powers and stuff. So I like that, and and with her, it made sense to redeem her. With the backstory that she had, it made a lot of sense. So yeah, and I really like when Steven's like, why haven't I gotten my powers back? And he's like, oh, well, he says like, well, the world is in danger because of something. The world's in danger because of something my mother did that does not affect me, that I didn't do whatsoever. It's like, yeah, this is very much like the plot lines from the show itself, but I'm alright with that. So, I don't know how long this discussion is going to be. Maybe not too horribly long, but I'll go ahead and go through the notes here. Because I wrote down a decent amount of notes. The first thing I wrote down was new Pink. So, yeah, I do kind of like that this was sort of tied around again at the end, but just at the beginning where it's like, okay, the Diamonds have... they're very much obsessed with Steven, and they want him to stay on Homeworld and remain as Pink Diamond. I will say, especially like in the ending, I feel I'm a little conflicted on the Diamonds in this movie, because I feel like the Diamonds didn't have their personalities in this, I feel like they didn't have their personalities in this, I don't know, like, the way they were just so obsessed over Steven, and, they just want him to stay there so that they can adore him and everything like that. And the way that ties in at the end with Spinel, it is a little off. I understand what they were going for, but they definitely felt a little off. Like, their personalities weren't quite what they, normally are. But the fact is, they were such a small part of it. A small part of the movie, even though, Well, that's the thing. They were a small part of the movie, and at the end, which, you know, we're kind of jumping ahead a bit. We're jumping ahead to the ending. But the fact that they would be so obsessed with Spinel as well, because you know, she was something of Pink Diamonds, and so, you know, they're going to give her all the love and adoration that they were going to give Steven, but, you know, Steven doesn't want to live with them, basically. And so now they're just going to give it to Spinel. I'm not 100% on that, you know, because, like, I don't know, it just feels like it goes against, even though, you know, okay, we did go through last season and redeem the Diamonds. It just feels off. Like they would care so much about the fact that they would care so much about anything related to Pink Diamond. It's just I don't know. It just feels kind of odd. And I don't know, man. Especially too because I don't feel like they ever showed that to Pink. I don't think they ever showed that sort of love and adoration to Pink Diamond. You know, the most they had was, like, you know, obviously we had Blue who would, you know, cry over Pink Diamond. We saw that in the show. And but that was about it, I feel like, you know? Because Yellow was sort of the hard ass, the taskmaster of the Empire. And, you know, anytime there was something about Pink Diamond, she would always be like, oh, Pink, yeah, of course she would do that and stuff like that. And then, you know, when we eventually got to White Diamond, and, you know, she pretty much until the end, until the finale of season 5, she was just like, oh, well, Steven, you're just Pink Diamond. What is Steven? You are Pink, you know? You're just Pink Diamond, you know? So, with all of that, it's like, it just seems odd that they would just fawn over Steven and then, in turn, fawn over Spinel like that. Yeah, I don't know, but the fact of the matter is, it is such a small part of the movie, like, because here's the thing is, you know, when we were getting to the end and it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do with Spinel? And I was just like, join the team, I guess, you know? Join the team, live in Little Homeworld, like, that's kind of our plan, you know? They just didn't tell Spinel that, you know? It's like, it's not that they were... Because, you know, she mistakes it as, well, they're going to use the Rejuvenator. Why is the Rejuvenator a scythe? I want to know that. But it's not that they were going to use the Rejuvenator on her, you know, to make her better. But it's like, no, they were probably just going to, you know, let her live on Earth in, you know, Little Homeworld. But, like, you could have easily done that and not had to go through the... giving her to the Diamonds, basically. So that, but again, it's a small part of the movie, you know, it's just the beginning and the end with the Diamonds. I do like that, you know, the Diamonds aren't actually going to stick around. When they came by and they were like, oh, we'll just live here, and it's like, I kind of don't want that. I kind of want them to just stay on Homeworld and let's have our other adventures here. So yeah. Let's see. The next thing I wrote down was peace. That was interesting. Just seeing everything just like, oh, there's peace across the galaxy. Because apparently the Gem Empire, you know, had a stranglehold on the entire galaxy. Despite the fact that we didn't see it that often. That's one complaint I have about the show, is that we don't see the scope of the Gem Empire. The Gempire, if you will. We don't get to see, you know, the scope of the Empire. You know, we just see like maybe 1 or 2 planets other than Earth and Homeworld, but that's about it. So yeah. I wrote down the corrupted gem. That was interesting, you know, sort of basically basically limiting Steven by disabling his powers. That was interesting. It kind of, you know, set him back like, you know, Iron Man 3 or Spider-Man Homecoming, where it's like, you know, what are you without the suit? What is he without his powers, you know? It is sort of the same thing. It's like he has to figure all this out without his powers. And, you know, for a while he had to figure it out on his own because he didn't have the others. He didn't have the other three because this is the one thing I will say. It's like Spinel came in and wrecked shop, you know? She completely dominated all four of them easily. You know, Steven was able to, you know, last second get the upper hand and rejuvenate her, but it's like she did whoop all four of them at the same time. So, and you know, that's why I was joking, like, oh, well, you know, here's Garnet to sing a song in the finale. It's like, oh, well, isn't this what she did against Jasper? It's like, she lost to Jasper almost immediately. Again, this is sort of mirroring the end of season 1, where she fights Jasper, and, like, almost immediately, I think, Jasper takes her out. You know, poofs her into her 2 gems. And it's the exact same thing here. And then later, I think, in the actual final fight, Garnet reforms, sings a song, and fights Jasper at the same time, and then just completely dominates. It's the exact same thing that happened here, honestly. Which I don't know, you know, I guess because, you know, they sort of established that since it's the same thing they did in season 1, I can kind of go for it. And maybe you could make the argument that, you know, Spinel was becoming more unstable, so she couldn't exactly win that fight. I don't know. It still works. But yeah, so the factory reset was the next thing I wrote down. Although, technically, because I wrote that down before we got the name Spinel. So we can talk about her for a sec. She did have an imposing presence, like more than any other gem on the show. Like, she came in, she was intimidating, actually, and her power base was incredibly interesting. Her power base was really, really interesting, actually. Just the fact that she's kind of, I guess, you know, she's like Mr. Fantastic or the Elongated Man. You know, she's just stretching all over the place, but they really got creative with what they could do, and probably because it's a cartoon, you can do anything. But yeah, like, it was very creative, like, what they did, and it's like, I kind of wish they did more with it, but I did like it. I really liked, and I like too, because it's like, it's nothing, like, super crazy, because the thing about Steven Universe is that we kind of kept just getting bigger villains. Like, we got Jasper, and then we got the Diamonds, and then we got White Diamond. It's like the villains just keep getting taller, basically. But Spinel was small, maybe only Steven's height, and you know, maybe only Steven's height, and she did dominate all four of them, just because, honestly, because she was weird. They didn't know how to deal with her powers, so I did like that. So yeah, but she had an imposing presence about her, which I really like that, you know? They actually made a gem intimidating, like, more intimidating, because I will admit, the first time you see White Diamond, it's pretty, like, ugh. You know, it's pretty weird, but yeah, I definitely, yeah, I like this. I like Spinel. And then we get the factory reset, which was interesting, you know, because we basically took out our gems, our main gems. The three of them, took them out. We took Steven's powers, and we took out our villain, actually, which was interesting. And so I kind of like, you know, this was a good way of bringing in sort of, I don't want to say the B team, but they kind of are, you know, bringing in Lapis and Peridot and Bismuth and Greg, you know, bring them in, you know, to help Steven. I actually did like that, that it wasn't just our main four, like normal. So that was interesting. And just everyone when they were reset, you know, it was funny watching Ruby being overprotective Sapphire was fun. Amethyst just completely copying what everyone was doing. Pearl being such a good servant basically to Greg, which in and of itself is also really funny because of their history. So yeah, that was cool. Let's see. And the fact that we did factory reset Spinel too, and we learned that, okay, well, she is a best friend and stuff. And I pretty much figured out with, it's like, okay, she's basically like a toy. She's a toy gem. She's your best friend that you're supposed to play with all the time. And I started to think like, okay, she has we already know she has some sort of thing with Pink Diamond. And it's like, ooh, I bet because she hasn't been brought up before that Pink Diamond abandoned her. We'll get to that in a bit. Oh, God. The next thing I wrote down was recreate. Recreate all of their memories, basically. Get their memories back by having them go through the same sort of experiences. That was kind of interesting. So, they fuse Ruby and Sapphire back into Garnet, but that's not enough. There's a good song with Amethyst to help her jog her memory by, basically letting her be herself. Like, they basically reform her personality, and then she completely reforms, which was good. And Pearls was interesting. You got to rebel, and it was more than that. It was that, her master disappeared. That was the whole thing with Pink Diamond. Her master disappears, and Rose disappears at a point. And so they go with the same sort of thing with Greg. They have to make Greg disappear. And I thought they were just going to bubble him, but instead they fused. They fused. Steven and Greg actually fused into who I can only call Steg, because I don't know what his real fusion name is. They didn't say it. He just fused and that was it. So that was interesting. And and it's also interesting, this is the first human other than Connie that Steven is fused with, but they didn't, I don't know, it's almost like they didn't spend a lot of time doing it. They just sort of did it. I don't know, but it was interesting, and then, that being the reason that Pearl came back was cool. So that worked out. Let's see. I also like the detail, at the end that when they defused, it basically took all the energy out of Steven. So that was interesting. The next thing I wrote down was Left Behind. We got the full story on Spinel, and oh my God, that's pretty bad. Just like Pink Diamond just being like, okay, wait here. Just stand perfectly still right here. And then she just left. And 6,000 years passed after that. 6,000 years passed. That is insane. And she just stood there until eventually the message by Steven came through. The message that Pink Diamond is gone and here is Steven. And it drove Spinel to insanity. That is horrible. And I like Steven's line where he's like, I can't believe my mother did that. I mean, well, yeah, I can, actually. It's like, yeah, we can believe that Pink Diamond did that. Pink, she's done some stuff. She's done some stuff in this show, let me tell you. But yeah, that you completely understand. And I started to piece that together. I started to piece together her backstory from that. But it's not just that she was left behind. She left Homeworld without her, and that was it. It's like, no, it's specifically that she left her to stand in the garden alone for 6,000 years. That is it's worse, you know? It's worse than what I was originally thinking, you know? Oh, that is so horrible. So yeah. But that was interesting. Oh, I completely skipped over the injector. I did write down the injector. I just completely skipped over that note. The injector was interesting. It basically, you know, it gave something to bring Spinel back. Because, you know, I was sitting there thinking, like, okay, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason to bring her back, you know? Like, maybe she had a failsafe or something. You know, why would she, you know, allow herself, basically, to get rejuvenated like that? But it wasn't exactly the case, but it still worked out. So, yeah, the injector was interesting, and, you know, poisoning the planet, basically, destroying all organic life on the planet, which, yeah, would kill everything. Plants, animals, humans, everything, but not the gems, you know? So that was interesting. So I did like that. And then I wrote down redemption. So, like I said at the beginning of the episode, I wish that, you know, we like, basically we couldn't redeem everyone. And I know it's sort of like, you know, that's a sort of pessimistic view of the world. Like, oh, well, wouldn't it be great to get everyone? But, yeah, it would be great. But you can't always do that, you know? There's just some people you can't redeem, you know? You can't redeem Hitler, you know? And basically, and I know a lot of people, when they talk about this show, you know, they compare like the diamonds to Nazis, and it's like, you know, like the Gem Empire, the Homeworld Empire to sort of the Nazi regime, and so it's like, well, should you redeem them? And it's like, I don't know, you're sort of, you can get into all of that, but it's like, I do wish it's like, I do kind of want just a villain we can't beat, you know? Like a Frieza. There, if we can go to maybe a less serious analogy, it's like, they were honestly, the diamonds were a lot like Frieza in Dragon Ball. And it's like, you know, there's just some people you can't redeem. That being said, Spinel was very redeemable. Like, there was something there. You know, it's not really her fault that she ended up this way. It is Pink Diamond's fault, you know? And it is different from the diamonds. The diamonds, I'm not sure if we needed to redeem, honestly. I feel like we could have just beaten them, you know? Because, like, I feel like they could have just been villains because they did have an empire. They were still, you know, enslaving races and building colonies and stuff like that. You know, they were still doing all this horrible stuff, but we redeemed them anyway. You know, they were a lot like Frieza. They were like Frieza. Whereas Spinel wasn't. Spinel was not like Frieza. So I understand the redemption here. And you know, we are going to react to Steven Universe Future, all 10 episodes of Steven Universe Future. So I'm curious, I'm curious who the villain's going to be. I think from what I've seen, I think it's going to be Jasper, but I'm not sure. It will be interesting to see if they redeem a villain. I would actually like if we just did not redeem a villain, you know? But we'll have to see. So yeah, but Spinel was definitely redeemable. I understand why they did it here. And it worked. And I actually like that it didn't quite work quickly. Like, you know, like we were starting to do it, and then, you know, we started to backtrack a little bit, you know? We started to backtrack a little bit when she was like, oh, well, what are you going to do with me? Huh? You don't have any plans. You're just going to rejuvenate me. And, you know, it is a bit of a misunderstanding when she sees the rejuvenator in Steven's pocket. But yeah, it was, I don't know. So I did like that. And I did like that even though we were on the path to redemption with Spinel, we did actually fight her. You know, it got a little brutal too. It got a little brutal there. Just the flat out punches she was delivering to Steven. And the next thing I wrote down was change. So Steven's final piece to regaining his power was the power to change. okay, I think I understand this. I think I understand what he's saying. It's like, you know, it's the power to change things. I think I understand what he's saying. So that was interesting, and that giving his power back was interesting. Because, you know, Spinell even says, like, this is what you were at the beginning. You know, it's like, this is the great warrior Steven Universe. You know, this is the person who brought peace to the galaxy. This is Steven Universe. You know, and it is true. With everything that he has done throughout the show, including redeeming the diamonds, it is the power of change. That's how he brought peace to the galaxy, was helping people to change. So once he remembered that, he doesn't... It's not that he needed his powers, although it would be nice to block some of those punches and stuff. It wasn't exactly that he needed that. He needed to remember that he has the power to change. He can help Spinell. So with that, I guess it's... Maybe they won't redeem anyone. Or maybe they will redeem the next villain, whoever it is. I don't know. I don't... Just beat someone. There's got to be a Frieza out there, you know? But Spinell is not Frieza. And then I wrote down no happily ever after. And that's the thing, is that I did like that too, that Steven was like, you know, all this stuff, all this talk about happily ever after, I've lost sight of, you know, what I did. And he was like, you know, there are always going to be struggles, but I need to face them. I did like that because, yeah, it's like, you know, when you start the movie and it's like happily ever after, and it's like, well, then what the hell are we doing here? And it's like, all right, where's our villain? And then Spinell drops out of the sky. And it's like, you know, they thought they had their happily ever after, and then Spinell happened. So I do like that, you know, they've kind of accepted that. It's like, okay, well, we are going to be happy, but we need to work for this. Even though we have worked for this, we need to keep working to maintain this, basically. So that was good. I did like that. And then, like I said, the last thing I wrote down was the diamonds and Spinell. It makes sense. I understand it, and this is a good way for in Steven Universe future when we, you know, basically a way to keep the diamonds and Spinell off the planet. Even though I actually wish we could keep Spinell, you know, like the diamonds would not work just as regular characters on the show. They need to be used sparingly. And even here, I don't think they were used quite well. So I understand keeping them off the show. I do kind of wish we could keep Spinell, you know? I do wish we could keep Spinell. You know, she could start a new life on Earth, living in Little Homeworld and stuff. So I kind of wish we could keep her, and who knows, she could easily show up in the show, and for that matter, so could the diamonds. So, yeah. Once again, I'm still not 100% sure on the portrayal of the diamonds in this one. Yeah, especially White Diamond. White Diamond, it was like, I don't know, it didn't quite... Their portrayal in this didn't quite work with me. It just didn't seem like their normal personalities. But, again, small factor to the movie. You could easily change it, and honestly, if you changed it, the only thing, like okay, them wanting to keep Steven around as the new Pink Diamond, that is necessary because that is how, you know, Spinell finally leaves the garden. And then, but at the end, when it's like, oh, well, Spinell's gonna go off and entertain the diamonds forever, that is unnecessary because you could keep Spinell here to live a new life. You know, when she's like, oh, well, you clearly don't want me here. You don't want me here, so how am I going to fit in? And it's like, Peridot used to be a villain. Lapis was kind of a villain, you know? Bismuth, we had some troubles with Bismuth too. It's like, girl, we keep our villains. Like, we redeem them and then they stick around and we're fine. There's nothing different about you that we can't keep you too, you know? So, but again, just a minor thing with the diamonds. It honestly doesn't ruin the movie. And overall, I did actually like this. A lot. Because, yeah, you know, as we kept going on through Steven Universe, I don't want to say it was bad, but the stuff with the diamonds wasn't the greatest, and, you know, there was all the filler, but, you know, luckily we don't have that in a, you know, hour and 20-minute movie. So yeah, but Spinel was definitely a great villain. I did enjoy Spinel. She definitely, so far, is the best villain, and this was pretty good, pretty solid. I did enjoy this movie. So yeah, that is pretty much it. And yeah, next up is Steven Universe Future, which is technically season 6, episode 1. I know people say it's technically its own show and not season 6. I'm gonna count it as both. I'm gonna call it Steven Universe Future season 6, basically. But yeah, that will be up tomorrow. Just as a quick aside, so this is going up on Tuesday. We are going to have one episode of Steven Universe every day, pretty much till Christmas, actually. Yeah, so we're gonna watch one episode a day. The last one will go up, we're gonna watch one a day until Christmas, because we'll have caught up to the show, because I know I'm late on watching these episodes, but we're gonna catch up, basically. So for the next week, the last one will go up on Christmas Day. That will be episode 8. And then the following week, on Monday and Tuesday, we will watch episode 9 and episode 10 of Steven Universe Future. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 1. Yeah. I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Steven Universe reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.